Members, there's nothing probably more important than the integrity of our election process, because by that vehicle, the people speak and they're able to express their concerns about who they elect and how they send them, and the many issues that they consider on the ballot. So every time we have an election, we learn things that we can do to improve and hopefully build more respect for that integrity. So this has truly been a joint effort. Several changes to the bill have been made and are in this extensive strike all. For example, we took out the fines that were particularly objectionable to the supervisors of elections to try to encourage timely and format reporting. We have confidence that they will be able to do that. There were concerns brought up about the 100-foot barrier, trying to protect the integrity of voters as they approach the poll. And we came up with some new language here that goes back to just defending the 100-foot barrier from the entrance of the polling location, but it adds language that protects those individuals waiting in line. So you don't have to be 100 foot away from anybody in line, because that became a problem in some of the urban centers where you may have a line that's blocks long. But it does say that if you're already in line, that you can't be directly solicited, so that that person has some privacy as they approach the poll. But it also removes the discretion and clearly just delineates 100 feet so that there's not a lot of different interpretations of how close you can get to what. So that was brought by Representative Watson and Representative Leckett to our attention in the last meeting, as well as a number of other members on the committee participated in dialogue about that. All these changes are important to ensure the integrity of the political process in our elections in Florida. Giving the Secretary of State the ability to issue opinions when there is an unforeseen situation or an interpretation of how something is to be applied. We don't need 67 interpretations. We don't need them calling somebody who's not authorized to give that direction. This bill clearly gives the Secretary of State the authority that they need to provide that direction and what will be the procedural interpretation when questions arise. And it requires them to be in writing, so it's not a he said or she said, or what they thought they heard. It'll be clear, and it'll be clear to all 67 supervisors as these questions arise, so that we can, as voters, expect uniformity in the process, order, and civility, and how it's conducted. It does protect and improve citizens' voting rights. We are creating more uniformity and clarity to the existing election code and reporting guidelines that will be timely and productive. Every time we have elections, we do learn, and I hope that this bill reflects the changes that we need. We may not have covered every change that's needed, but we covered many and reached, I think, some important conclusions that are the work of this strike all. I do want to talk about the input from our supervisors of elections. There was some concern in the last meeting that we had not opened for enough input from them. So we had a number of serious dialogues, and thank you, Chairman, for helping conduct some of those discussions with us. We made a number of concessions to their concerns. One was regarding this direction of opinions, and clarifying that procedure, I think, is going to be very helpful so that written direction is clear as questions arise. Excuse me. We also had a concern from them about maintaining a database of all third-party organizations and forms assigned to those organizations. We have relieved them of that in this strike all. The database will be maintained by the Department of State, but they will input. And again, this is because we want to avoid any type of mischief or mishap in the area of acquiring. All of us were somewhat embarrassed with the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck registrations that leaked through. We want to make sure that where we have third-party registration, that we have a way of detecting who all's involved. in gathering those so that we can get back to the source and deal with those areas that are specific problems, and again, improve the integrity of that voter file as it develops and grows. We also had questions from the supervisors, concerns about inclusion of the polling place address and the voter information card, how it was specified for it to be responded to. We've allowed time on that in this strike-all. We extend that section to take effect August 1st, 2012, like the Senate bill that carries this issue. This makes the changes take place after redistricting, so that as they have new data about where people are and their voter cards change as to who their representation is, that they'll be able to redo all those cards, send them out in a bulk format so that they save on cost. And by extending this and pushing this out to August 1st, 2012, they'll have more time to do that and to do it more cost efficiently. Another one of their concerns had to do with notifying people who had applied, applicants, about the disposition of how their voter registration application would be carried out. We had required in sending them their card, and again, what we've done now is adjust that language so that we notify the applicants within 5 days about the disposition of their application, but they don't have to mail the voter information card within that 5 days. That can happen later, and again, this allows them to bundle mail and can be sensitive to their cost of conducting these functions. Also, a compromise that we made with them, which was most significant, there was some concern about the tone of providing fines on the reporting deadlines, because there's about 2/3 of people that do it and about 1/3 that sometimes don't. And we heard their concerns, and out of respect for them, have eliminated those fines.